OMG. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of crap to get to in this update. We've got the big Davante Adams trade that happened last night. The Packers now in desperate need of receivers. Where do they turn? What is Aaron Rodgers thinking? We've got the Baker Mayfield saga demanding a trade. The Browns are screwed at quarterback. I'm going to talk about their options. But guys, let's get right into it. Davante Adams last night in an absolute bombshell. Didn't want to play under the franchise tag. Wanted to apparently play for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, when this originally first broke last night, people were speculating, did Aaron Rodgers know this was going to happen? They signed Aaron Rodgers and they traded Devonta Adams. Aaron Rodgers knew this was going to happen, and I have to give the Packers credit here for being proactive, realizing Devonta Adams doesn't want to play for your team anymore. Apparently his childhood dream was to play for the Las Vegas Raiders, and he relinks with his college teammate at Fresno State, Derek Carr, and they've got an unbelievable offense there. The AFC West is absolutely loaded now. You've got Darren Waller, you've got Davante Adams, you've got Hunter Renfrow. He's getting around $28 million per year. That's not surprising considering DeAndre Hopkins is at around $27 million per year annually. And the Green Bay Packers get back the 20th overall pick this year and I believe the 50th overall pick. So those are two good assets. And obviously the Packers desperately need receiver help. If I am the Green Bay Packers, I'm looking at a guy like Robert Woods, who might be available now, reportedly might be available after the LA Rams sign Allen Robinson to a 3-year contract. You're the Green Bay Packers. Robert Woods, he's coming off an injury. You might be able to get him for a 2nd or 3rd round pick on the cheap. You're looking at the Green Bay Packers drafting a receiver, possibly Chris Olave, 20th overall, or using one of their 2 first-round picks on a receiver, maybe even a 2nd round pick. I've said this receiver class is so deep. If I am the Packers front office, listen, I give the Packers front office credit for doing this trade. Davante Adams says, I don't want to play for your team. Really, re-signing a receiver to a $28 million deal at where Davante Adams is at his age isn't the best thing. You kind of have to do it because Davante Adams is so good. But listen, it's not the worst case scenario. You get an asset in a 1st round pick, you get another asset in a 2nd round pick, and it also looks like the Packers are going to re-sign Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Really don't understand why Aaron Rodgers is so obsessed with him. MVS is really just a deep threat with bad hands. That's what MVS is. If I was Aaron Rodgers, I would want a complete remake on the receiver room. I would want the Packers to go out and trade for Robert Woods. I would want them to draft a receiver in the 1st round and then maybe even draft a receiver in the 2nd round to create a receiving room of maybe like a Robert Woods, Chris Olave, Alec Pierce from Cincinnati type feel. That's what I would do. My 32 mocks in 32 days, Green Bay Packers is still yet to come, guys. Make sure you watch that. 32 mocks in 32 days, Green Bay Packers, where I will have the 2 first-round picks. I'll completely remake the Packers wide receiver room. We'll have to see what they do. But this is just a situation, really odd thing. I think everyone assumed with Aaron Rodgers going back to Green Bay, Davante Adams, they would get him on the franchise tag, and then they would extend him in a long-term contract. But Davante Adams says, listen, I want to play for Las Vegas. He goes to Vegas, and if you're Vegas, you're getting a number 1 receiver. You've got him locked up for $28 million. You're obviously, at this point, going to keep Derek Carr. You've got a really good young offensive nucleus with Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. So really, really good trade for both teams. If you're the Raiders, it's tough losing your 1st and 2nd round pick and having to pay Davante Adams $28 million per year. That's a little tough. If you're Green Bay, good job by their front office. Be proactive about it. They said, listen, Davante Adams doesn't want to play here. Let's get assets back for him. Julio Jones is out there. What does he have left in the tank? We don't know. I would hope for, maybe even 700 or 800 yards from Julio Jones at this point. But the things that I do know, Marquez Valdes-Scantling trending towards re-signing with the Packers. Other quick thing, I'm just going to run down a list. Right now, Desean Watson trending towards the Atlanta Falcons. And we've got a new report on Desean Watson from one of Houston's reporters. John McClain believes Atlanta would be the ideal fit for Desean Watson. Quote, I'd be surprised if Watson doesn't go to Atlanta. And you think about it, no, they don't have Calvin Ridley, but you do have the young superstar tight end Kyle Pitts. You could maybe sign Julio Jones to a 1-year contract, and the key for the Atlanta Falcons, well, actually, they wouldn't have their first round pick. They would trade him. So Atlanta's really going to be in the market for a free agent wide receiver. If they do get Desean Watson, they're going to have to trade multiple first round picks. I believe they have the 8th or 9th overall pick in the first round. That's going to get moved in this trade with Houston. So you're taking a look at a dynamic where the Atlanta Falcons, you're going to have to get rid of Matt Ryan while eating a bunch of his salary. Matt Ryan right now probably trending to the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield right now trending to the Seattle Seahawks. He's trending to the Seattle Seahawks with maybe the Colts in second place, and then Jimmy Garoppolo right now trending to the Indianapolis Colts. I'm very sure Jimmy Garoppolo and the Colts will end up being the fit. But talking about Baker Mayfield really quickly, we had the bombshell yesterday where it turns out the Browns completely out of it for Desean Watson. It's been confirmed, and then they go back to Baker Mayfield and say, hey, you're still our quarterback, and Baker's like, you got to be kidding me. And Baker Mayfield rightfully demanded a trade. I am a Browns fan, but I 100% see where Baker Mayfield is coming from. The Browns basically treated Mayfield like a used condom throughout this whole Desean Watson thing, where they brought out the red carpet to meet Desean Watson. It's completely disrespectful, and some people were speculating that the Browns declined Mayfield's trade request so they wouldn't lose leverage when trying to trade him. Honestly, I just think they thought they could get Mayfield back. Like, seriously, because you look at the other options right now, the only other options for the Browns would be a Matt Ryan, would be a Jimmy Garoppolo. Every big-time quarterback has either been traded or he's staying with his team. Derek Carr's staying with the Raiders. Aaron Rodgers' situation is over. He's staying with the Packers. Russell Wilson's already been traded. All the big quarterbacks are off the board. I really think the Browns said, we'll take a big swing for the fences for Desean Watson. If we don't get him, we go back to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has very little leverage. They didn't anticipate Baker Mayfield saying, you've treated me like a used condom. I'm leaving. This is ridiculous. You need to trade me right now because I've been completely disrespected. And I do think the Browns will end up trading Baker Mayfield. This is their fault. This is their mess. They went after Desean Watson. They alienated Baker Mayfield. And the problem is they're going to end up with someone like a Jimmy G. Maybe you draft a rookie in the first round. There's a lot of speculation we can do on the Browns quarterback situation and what they're going to do. Again, Matt Ryan, I would say maybe. That's if Desean Watson goes to Atlanta. Another guy that would be trending right now towards Atlanta, Jarvis Landry. You would see a guy like Jarvis Landry, they're in desperate need of receivers, and if they trade, again, if Atlanta trades for Desean Watson, they're not going to have any first-round picks. They're not going to have any assets to use on receivers in the draft, so they're going to have to look for veterans that are cheap, and Jarvis Landry fits that bill. Desean Watson reportedly will be recruiting. Again, guys, New Orleans is still definitely in the picture, but right now, if you were to ask me, Desean Watson is trending to the Atlanta Falcons. New Orleans is still there. He's expected to make his decision this weekend. We'll have to see what happens, but it is crazy. The Packers trade, listen, that is shocking. Really, you re-sign Aaron Rodgers, it's like, yeah, obviously Davante Adams is going to be there, and then turns out Davante Adams wants to play with Derek Carr, wants to play, it's been his dream to play with Las Vegas. So that was a bombshell, and the Packers did get a first rounder, the 20th overall pick, which they can use on a receiver. Maybe Drake London falls to 20th overall based on his injury history. That would be a great steal. Chris Olave would be a great fit. But honestly, if I was the Packers front office, I would sit down and ask Aaron Rodgers, listen, which one of these college receivers do you like? You want a bigger receiver, smaller receiver? What do you want? Allen Lazard is simply just not good enough, in my opinion, guys. I'm a receiving connoisseur. That's what I do. Receiver is my favorite position. Some guys you just got to say, like, Allen Lazard is just not good enough to be an NFL number 2 receiver. He's just not. He's just not good enough. MVS, I don't know why Aaron Rodgers has this weird love affair for MVS. He's a deep threat with bad hands, but it looks like they're going to sign him to probably like a $10 million per year deal, which is not a good deal, but it looks like they're going to do that to appease Aaron Rodgers, and then they're, clearly going to have to draft a receiver or maybe trade for a Robert Woods. He looks to be on the market. He is a good player, does have that injury concern, but overall that is the big current situation. So you've got Desean Watson deciding this weekend between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Right now, he's trending to the Atlanta Falcons. It was his home. The most recent reports, it's probably about a 70% chance he goes to Atlanta. You've also got Jarvis Landry trending there as well. You've got Baker Mayfield. I believe the Browns will honor his trade request, and I would say the current favorites to land Baker Mayfield would be the Seattle Seahawks. And then maybe you're taking a look at a team like Indianapolis if it falls through with Seattle. Seattle does own 2 second-round picks, so you're saying, what could you get for Baker Mayfield? I would say maybe a mid-second-round pick at this point. His contract situation, he has, 1 year left at like around $18 million this year, and then he's a free agent. The Cleveland Browns have cleared up a lot of salary cap space, so they could potentially sign someone. How about Xendarius Smith, guys? Xendarius Smith reneging on the deal. Nobody expected it. It's a huge break for the AFC North, and maybe the Browns get in on him, or maybe they use the money to re-sign a Jadeveon Clowney. The Browns quarterback situation, again, it's looking really bleak right now, at least for next year. It's really looking like the Browns are going to have to punt on next year unless they do some crazy trade for a quarterback. Your options are really, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, trading for Jimmy G, trading like a third-round pick for Jimmy G, trading for Matt Ryan. All the quarterbacks are already gone at this point. And I really do think the Browns thought they could just go and court and recruit Desean Watson, and then if it didn't work out, just say, all right, we'll just go back to Baker. And Baker's like, no, I've been completely disrespected by this front office. They clearly don't believe in me. They haven't extended me. I'm on a 1-year contract, my 5th-year team option, not even extended, former number 1 overall pick. The dude is pissed, and he should be pissed, and the Browns need to honor his trade request, and they need to put him out of his misery and let him go to a different team, because now it's really awkward, because now you're going to have a starting quarterback that demanded a trade that you didn't agree to, and he's going to be your starting quarterback. It's just a complete mess, and really the Browns brought it on themselves, but I don't even blame the Browns, really. You want to go for Desean Watson, I completely agree. I'm like bleeding right now, I don't know why, but you want to go for Desean Watson, but you don't want to alienate Baker Mayfield, and it's this line you can't cross, and unfortunately they have alienated Baker Mayfield, and that's the current situation with that. But guys, it is crazy right now. Desean Watson, Davante Adams, Baker Mayfield, all trending in the NFL. Also, that Allen Robinson deal to the Rams maybe makes Robert Woods expendable. And Allen Robinson gets 3 years around, what did he get, around $45 million? That's not surprising to me at all. After I saw that Christian Kirk contract, it's not surprising that Allen Robinson got that. So we will see what happens there with Robert Woods. Is Robert Woods going to be traded coming off his ACL tear? Maybe to the Packers? That's where he's trending right now. We'll have to see, guys. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.